Hi, it's Nicole, and today I've got two fun holiday themed cards featuring the Merry Mischief collection from Spellbinders and the October stitching die of the month. To get started, I am using the Chimney Caper, which is a stamp and die combo. I love these sets. I think that they go together so quick. I'm gonna pick out some color wheel cardstock colors. I'm kind of focusing on like the mint and the red. I love a huge die set where I can get lost for hours die cutting, seam building, all of that. The other side of that coin is I also really love these sets that kind of have a almost like a complete scene with not a lot of dies, so not a lot of die cutting. And then there's also, two or three coordinating sentiments, and I don't have to go find another product, deep dive to try to find something that I think is going to, sound right with this specific scene. So the Chimney Caper one is like this. There's one where there's a dog dressed up as a tree that has the same type of thing where there's some stamp sets. And there was a third one, and I'm blanking on it. I just have cute little upside down Santa here. Now, to make some snow splatter on my background, I'm using this like Spellbinders splatter media stuff. Only I don't like making a mess. So I just take like a stylus and dab it on there and, good to go. I am using one of those sentiments to stamp directly onto the little like snowy roof line, and then I'm going to assemble all of my pieces. And like I said, there's not a ton of pieces to this, so super quick assembly. And I just think that it's so cute. I think this is my favorite of the three of these from the Merry Mischief line. I think they're all just like they're so simple, but at the same time, I just kind of like when you've got a set that's sort of that one and done, everything's kind of there, and it just goes so quick. I'm going to add some little pin details to his suit and his shoes. I used some gold treasured cardstock for his belt buckle. And then I like to use a lot of foam adhesive on my cards. My favorite is the 1mm from scrapbook.com, and I just kind of chop it up into a bunch of different pieces to fit behind some of these really small areas. Gonna center my little roofline on here and cut off the excess, and then tuck the chimney behind that. And then I left room with my foam adhesive to be able to tuck Santa into the chimney as well. I did consider bringing in some like packages or gifts from some of the die sets that came out in July, but I really did kind of like how just kind of simple this looked. So instead I grabbed some really old kind of confetti style dies, and I'm going to cut some white layers and I'm going to cut some gold layers and do the stacked die cut technique and kind of make my own little embellishments here. This is something that I find really relaxing, and I haven't had a chance to make tiny hearts in a while. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. Typically I do look in my like gems and pearls stash to kind of see if I have anything that I felt like was going to fit. And everything just kind of was like fancy. Santa didn't feel fancy. So I felt like doing some gold hearts would kind of just go in with the mood of what I had created so far. And I'm just going to sprinkle some down around the sentiment and then put a couple on either side of him. And again, it's just kind of, keeping with the colors I've already used because the gold is on his belt buckle, and just bringing in a little bit more fun to the card. Now for my second one, I am using the Season Sparkles 3D embossing folder, which is also part of the Merry Mischief release. However, I am going to use the Peppermint Prancer, which is the October stitching die of the month. I stitched the ornament and the different little pie-shaped pieces that build the ornament. I didn't want you guys to have to sit there and watch me stitch those. It's super simple. I use 3 strands and a size 22 needle. and just kind of sit and listen to some YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the cute little reindeer. He was really easy. Did not have to look up an assembly guide for him. I could figure him out all on my own. I did have to stop and go cut another layer for his nose because I had forgotten that the ornament is stitchable. The additional pieces for the ornament are stitchable, as well as like the front of the reindeer's like muzzle is stitchable, but I didn't want to stitch that part. So I just die cut it with just some solid cardstock. And then instead of red berries, I wanted to bring in some gold because my background is red. So again, I'm kind of sticking with the color palette that I used for the first card. And I thought that this was such a cute little like neutrally colored holly leaf. And like I said before, I cut my foam adhesive into tiny little pieces. I don't like the way liquid adhesive and stitched pieces, it's just kind of lumpy, bumpy. I can't get things to attach very well. So a lot of times with the stitching elements, I will use foam adhesive to attach them together, or attach anything that has thread on the back to, you know, wherever it's going to go. And so I just cut some squares in half to be able to fit between those threads. And then the October stitching die of the month coordinates with the Deluxe Caboodle bonus item, which is that item that you get if you sign up for all of the clubs for the month. You get a bonus item, and the bonus item specifically coordinates with the stitching die. So the stitching die has it to where you can spell joy with the ornament. The Caboodle gives you that extra U letter so that you can move the Y from the right to the left, and you can have it say U instead of joy. And then there is this little phrase that says for. So I did that with the gold cardstock and the white stacked layers as well. And then I'm just going to kind of start adhering everything to the front. This one I loved. This one was so fun, so cute. As I was working on things, I kept coming up with like different ideas. I think this would be really cute to do like the same embossing folder and then cut like 3 ornaments but not stitch them, just kind of have the detail of the holes and the lines and have like 3 ornaments kind of hanging down, and maybe have the reindeer hanging from one of them. I don't know. I was making this one and I was getting too many ideas for other ones, and I had to kind of stop myself. It's only October. I still have time to pull this out and make more Christmas cards if I want to. And the hollies, I'm just kind of trying to tuck them. I gave one to the reindeer and then one to each of the letters, and kind of have like a little bit of a visual triangle going on. And then the bonus Caboodle item also had this little phrase banner. So I went ahead and cut that out with the same gold cardstock as well. And I felt like this would just kind of fill in that bottom area and kind of replace the gold hearts from the first card. So it's kind of bringing in that little gold detail. And I went ahead and popped that up with foam adhesive as well. And that finished my second card. I love, love, love how these look together. I love the color combo that I chose. And this was just a really quick afternoon making 2 cards. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you subscribe if you have not already. And hopefully one of these suggested videos will catch your eye, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.